You did, and a jacket. Hey.
All right. Gary, you've been busy since we last saw you. Catch us up.
Yes. Yeah, we've had, it seems like it's been a year dedicated to trial work. I think we've done 6 or 7 trials. Since we last saw each other, let's see, I had a trial and shooting case in Flagler County, which actually I sentencing this afternoon. And just, I mean, we're constantly busy. I've got a sentencing on death penalty case tomorrow in front of Judge Maltz. Constantly in court. But doing good. Everything else has been doing really well.
Gary, talk about your trip to Tallahassee.
It was a good trip. Had some good questions. Talked again about background. There were 3 people that asked questions this time. I think the last time in 2012 when I went through, there were 4. But good questions, kind of similar to what we've had here about background and experience and what you'd like to do as a judge and why you want to be a judge, and it was a very good experience.
What lessons did you take from it that you would apply were we to set you up again?
Well, I relied on my 32 years as a lawyer. I've done about at least about 300 jury trials. I'm constantly in court doing litigation. I've been doing primarily litigation since 1989, and I emphasize and continue to emphasize that I believe in working very hard at whatever I do. My days are typically 12 to 14 hours long. I anticipate that will be the same as a judge. I think given the current demands that our judges have with caseload and time constraints in the circuit, I think it's important to do as much as you possibly can, even if it takes bringing home work to the house, whether it's taking time to render opinions or doing legal research, doing the necessary work to get cases moving forward, get cases resolved, making rulings, because our caseload's not getting any lighter and not getting any easier in the 7th Circuit, no matter where you go. I think my experience in doing litigation will help in managing the time constraints that the judges currently have. And I'm ready to jump into just any type of assignment, which I know is in kind of a state of flux right now, within the 7th Circuit, whether it's doing criminal work, family law, probate, any other form of litigation. But I'm very anxious to put my experience. It's obviously a very sad occasion that we're here today. I really, really enjoyed working with Judge Wolf. Great judge, very fair. He struggled mightily with his cancer, and but one of the things I'll always take away from being before him is the fact that even on the days when he did not feel very well at all and his energy level was not very good, he still came to work. He had his wife driving him over to work, and I have that same background and experience in my own career, where we do the work that needs to be done. We have clients that we take care of no matter what it takes, and whether it's working on weekends or working after hours or meeting after hours. And I think the same philosophy should still apply as a judge.
By way of math, we have sent up more than 6 people who have put in, in the last go-rounds, who have put in. So someone who has gone up before is not going to get to go up again this time. Just the numbers shake out that way. Why do you deserve to be in the top 6, particularly, what makes you stand out among the very top tier of applicants who have gone up before?
Well, focusing solely on my own experience, because I have been a lawyer since 1986, I've practiced in certainly doing criminal defense for all these years. Actually, I became an assistant public defender in 1989. I've handled thousands, probably tens of thousands of cases, both as a public defender, as a assistant state attorney. I've done capital murder cases, both as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney. One gentleman that's on death row that I prosecuted. So I know about what it takes to deal with capital litigation, which is very involved, very demanding on all parties involved. I believe that I have a very good personality, that I get along with other people no matter what their walks of life are. I've certainly dealt with many, many clients, both as a private attorney, as a public defender, and as a prosecutor too, who are indigent, who can't afford to pay large fines, or who have other issues that affect their life. We certainly have experienced that on the family law side. I've done a lot of pro bono work. I'm very fortunate that Megan Wall's a good friend of mine who had me involved in doing legal aid on a pro bono basis. So I think the experience dealing with the demands of and the stresses of dealing with substantial caseloads of all kinds of cases, all kinds of varieties, and dealing with all kinds of varieties of people. I believe my work ethic and my personality, and the fact that I really want to, because I've had experience with being before such good judges like Judge Wolf, Judge Boyles, Judge Parsons, who was phenomenal on rendering decisions on the bench that stood the test of time and appeals. I believe that my experience and background and attitude to being a judge, which I consider to be the highest form of work in the legal profession, I know what the public demands of a good judge, and I've been before many good judges, and I want to emulate them in my time being a judge, whatever assignment I get.
Gary, how'd you get on the front page of the Black and Yellow News yesterday?
Well, one of the reporters called me a couple of days ago, actually, and they got 2 hours in Gary. I know I sell in wood, so I'm happy about that. It was a good interview. I'm surprised they had a beard now since the beginning of the year, so I didn't kind of recognize myself from the old picture they had from 2011.
Gary, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
You know, we'll let you know by the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.